Good evening, basketball fans. I'm Tom Smith, and I'm here with Charles Bennett, the varsity basketball coach, and we're at Pollard Gymnasium, Speedway, Indiana, at Speedway High School for tonight's contest with the Greenwood Academy Cougars, Greenwood Christian Academy Cougars. Coach, in looking at tonight's game, before we talk about that, as COVID numbers and flu season and all that is here, any differences in practices, procedures here at school or at practice?
Nothing really different. We're obviously masked during the day with all our kids, which is fine and great. Helps cut down on the spread. And I think it's more of just like these kids now have been almost through this for 2 years. So I don't want to say you get used to it, but like they understand that they could get it. It's probably not going to be their fault. Whether they've been vaccinated or not vaccinated. I think more than anything, you just hold your breath and hope that, like tonight we have 5 JV guys that are out, 3 with it and 1 coming back, and then 1 that had just a normal, like a 24-hour virus. So luckily our varsity has not been touched with that.
Yeah.
But I know Park Tudor, our county opponent next week, had to cancel one of their games this past week, and there have been some postponements for some games. So we are fortunate. Our kids do a good job. I'll tell you, just on the side note, Coach Nyland, who runs our strength and conditioning now, he stretches our kids every day, but he preaches hydration, eating right, and sleeping right. And I think our kids have really bought into that, so I think they're healthier than they've ever been. And then I think there's a responsibility to to their brothers, if you will, but stay healthy, make sure we stay out there. So
Sure.
Nothing really different, but just kind of our kids being there.
Well, you look at a lot of college games have been postponed. I know I talked to my nephew, Kyle Gurgley, today, who's the equipment guy for football at Purdue, and he said that if their bowl game would have been 2 days later, they wouldn't have been playing.
Yeah.
And so it's just one of those things that all you can do is be as careful as you can be, and it sounds like, you and the program are, and kudos to that.
Yep.
If we looked at tonight's opponent, about Greenwood Christian Academy, talk to us a little bit about what you expect them to do and a little bit about their players.
They are extremely fundamental. Their coach is a first-year varsity coach, Jackson Williams. He does a great job with them. They play extremely hard. They've got a really good sophomore guard, Max Boer, number 23. But I'm looking forward to Reese Walker guarding him. Reese can shut down just about anybody. They got a really good outside shooter in Brett Shoemaker. Even though he's 6'4", he can shoot it like nobody's business. And then, they're going to be fundamental. But I'm looking forward to our kids have done a really good job this week in practice of bouncing back, because obviously, our record's 2-5, and our last 3 losses have all been one-possession games. Rigor was overtime, just 1 or 2 different things. And to our kids' credit, this week of practice has been probably one of the better weeks of practices we've had. Our kids, I think they're excited, they're fired up, they want to get out there and play, and we're just going to keep looking to just emphasize the simple things. Okay, let's play some half-court defense. Let's get our half-court offensive execution. Let's rebound. We're going to definitely get up and pressure them. That's kind of our mojo. I think Reese and Kale can get up and hurt their guards. So I think I'm just looking forward to watching our kids after 3-4 good days of practice getting to do it against somebody else. So,
I know in talking to Coach Williams before the JV game started tonight, he insinuated that they play a lot of man-to-man as well and like to pressure and so on. They are not very deep. They've got couple players coming up from the JV team. They got a varsity player who's out. But it looks like it's both teams are going to be man-to-man. And you said both teams. Yeah. I know we're going to go after them, and if they go after us, it ought to be
I've seen them play more zone, so I would anticipate them. But
okay.
They may start man, but I would think they'll have a hard time with our athleticism. But we'll see. It'll be interesting.
Right. And so what do you see as keys to the game?
Just really – if you look down, we just want to meet team goals. Are we shooting the ball above 45%, behind the arc 40%, free throws, which we struggled with 70%. Defensively, can we hold them below 58? Can we get 58% of rebounds? Can we hold them below 40%? Can we cause more than 13 turnovers? And generally speaking, when we meet 5 of those goals, we win a game.
Yeah.
So it's real simple. And again, like I said, the way our kids have practiced this week, I'm looking forward to them just getting out and playing.
I know I talked to Coach Mazzari today, and he said you've had 3 really good days of practice right in a row. So I think the coaching staff all agrees to that. Talk to us a little bit. I know we've got a special thing going on at halftime today.
Well,
or in between games, I'm sorry.
We're going to, when we come back out before we do the lineups and all that, we're going to do it's Hometown Heroes Night. So we're recognizing our police, our firefighters, and our veterans. Actually, I stole the idea from Jimmy Howe at Lapel. We used to go up there every year, and he'd have that night. And I thought, you know what? We need to do something like that because obviously our relationship with the police and fire department, the schools, you know, we're all in it. Several of those guys live in our community, and several I went to school with. So, and then just veterans in general is always good to recognize. But I think the real highlight's going to be our band and Amy Mole, her band and choir. On Veterans Day, they do an armed services medley and then go right into the national anthem. They're going to do that tonight. It's about an 8 to 9 minute production, but the armed services medley, I always get chills when I hear all of those marches. So just a way to honor our veterans, a way to honor our police, firefighters, and get our band and choir involved too. So, you know, Mrs. Mole's great. And then Greenwood Christian jumped on board because we got the camouflage shooting shirts, so they jumped on board, and it was great. So.
Okay. Well, congratulations and thanks, because I know you're kind of the basketball historian around here, but you're also great at honoring different groups of people and award winners and all different types of people, and that's a neat thing for our school as well.
Yes.
So on behalf of somebody outside the school atmosphere, I appreciate you're taking the time and energy to do that. So thank you very much. We will be right back with an interview with our superintendent, Kyle Trebley. Once again, we are back here at Pollard Gymnasium in Speedway, Indiana, at Speedway High School. And I had the privilege of having a guest come up and talk to us a little bit about the school system tonight. Our superintendent of schools here, Dr. Kyle Trebley. And I'm just going to make a real simple question, and you take off and run, because I know there's lots of stuff going on at this time with COVID, with school, with state legislature, all kinds of things. So talk to us about Speedway schools and changes and what's staying the same and so on.
22 months ago, about was March 13, 2020, and that's when COVID happened. So that's the question I get typically over and over again. How are the schools? How are we handling COVID? What's going on with our academics? And I'm going to try to go through some of those things to what maybe people would want to hear. But for 22 months ago, we were doing things like we've always done them, and we had to change what we were doing inside of the buildings, not just for the school side, but then the community and the state, of course, and the whole world changed. We had no idea March 13, 2020, what was going to really happen. But first and foremost, what I'm most proud about with the schools is the continuance of how we focus on what we've always focused about, and that's really about people. And that we've said this over and over again, and as you know, you've been along for the ride, but the people make the difference here in the Speedway. So the Speedway schools, very simply, we had to take a pause almost and not do that personal relationship 2 years ago almost. And we found a way now that I think because of our foundation and the culture, what we're about is the people in the buildings made the difference along with the community. So when you talk about academics, how is the schools doing? I can't believe we're doing as well as we're doing with not having that face-to-face all those days, all those minutes, those important minutes that you have. As you know, as a principal and teacher, it's really about being in front of kids. And our teachers, I got to give my hat off and take my hat off for them and give them full credit and thank them for what they've done for these last 22 months and even before that. Because our high school during the time behind me, we have a blue ribbon school in 2020. That doesn't happen overnight. That took a lot of time, and our teachers and the students and the community and parents, administrators, and our board support to get that high award of the National Blue Ribbon School. Our junior high just recently was ranked 25th in the state over all public and private schools. That's phenomenal. Our junior high doing the things. Allison Elementary was recently named a distinguished Title I School of the Year as a nomination. So we have all these awards coming in, and it's because we put our focus on the teacher, to the students. And I can go on and on and on and on about this, but it's really about the people, it's about the kids and the teachers in front of them. So when people ask me, as you look around Marion County, you look around the donut schools, and they went virtual for many, many, many days, we made a commitment, what we're always about, and then we're going to do everything we can to keep it safe, but get our kids in front of teachers. And you know what? The teachers do the rest then.
And you got it's a relationship business, and you can't have those relationships when you're on Zoom, in my opinion,
Right.
like you can when you got a teacher in front of kids.
Well, the research is coming out now that do at all cost, try to keep your doors open. And it's an easy answer for me when people have a lot of opinions nowadays. They do. But the bottom line is, from the board to the administration, me personally, Mr. Disney, our assistant superintendent, is how do we keep the doors open? If I put a mask on or a Band-Aid on their pinky finger, whatever that takes, I want to keep students in the building and keep going. We were at a part in September where we had quite a few quarantines happening, and the governor came out, if you remember, and he said that, hey, you put masks back on, kids, we'll get rid of the quarantine. And you know what? Anything we can do to keep kids in the building, I thought that was a focus we needed to take, and we did. We made that action. Thank goodness, since that day, we've done a good job overall keeping kids in the building. Now, after Christmas break, with the new variant that's out, we've seen our biggest uptick. We hope that comes down after the weekend, because we had a lot of kids coming back from families and vacations, and they came back to our schools with COVID.
Right.
And I just talked to Mr. Disney before we left the office today and said, how many kids are spreading inside the building? And to our knowledge still, it's just single digits. We're talking maybe one, and most of the time it's because within their own families. So, and that's not against the families, it's just that's what's happening around to our community.
Sure. Other things.
Well, let's talk about safety right now, because that's a big on our agenda here coming up in the next couple years. The high school is getting ready to go into a safety project. It's not a major project, but we're going to take care of the front entry rooms. We got a $100,000 grant from the Department of Education and the school safety grant that we'll be able to use those funds to change for the first time since 1961, shovel in the ground, first class 1963, to where we'll be changing where people will come into our front office where we have a visual on them, single point of entry. Excited about that for the high school, uplift for the front office, and then we're going to go to the junior high next to fix them. And remember, the last 5-6 years, we've gone down a path of putting in safety doors and lighting and LED lightings and cameras, and it's just the next step on progression on keeping our schools safe.
When will the high school project start?
Ironically, we just talked about it today, that it'll start after spring break, and we could do minimal demolition or minimal remodeling after spring break, and it's really going to hit this summer. My goal is I want everything fully functioning once we go back to the school year 2022-23.
No. And the junior high then follows that?
As long as the grants fall through, that's our next plan using our capital asset plan, and that is on the projection for in 2 years. So,
any legislative issues or anything people need to be concerned about here in town?
Well, today was a day I spent about 4 hours on Zoom calls with our lobbyists and whatnot, and there is a lot of legislations going through right now, and mainly curriculum in the buildings that the legislation wants to be involved in. It's too early to tell yet, because today was the deadline to officially how they bring out so many bills, and they knock it down to like 15. So we'll see where that lands, and we've got some good news. Senator Mike Young for us helped us out on some language already, and I appreciate that. And Renee Pack's another person I can call, and they will help Speedway schools at any point. So I appreciate that, and we're hoping that things go through, and we just want to take things off teachers' plates.
Absolutely.
And that's
Instead
my
of
focus.
adding on.
And we are a simple school corporation. We think if we teach reading, writing, and math. And that's our focus, and we're doing pretty good at it. And hopefully we continue, not that we don't want to progress, but we want to do it in a way that we know what we're doing, it's best for kids. And so far, with all the results we have, our AP classes in the high school kind of tells the story on this. Today we're getting ready to do a little report, and 75% of our students are in an AP class. We're in year 2022, and if you go back 10 years ago, and you go back maybe 15 years ago, you're talking like handful of kids, schools our size, that were in AP classes. We're talking 5 or 6 kids, maybe 10, maybe 20, or maybe at the top. and we have 75% of 550 kids in an AP class.
Wow.
It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Mr. Claiborne, Mr. Day, and Mr. Bourne right now, they are really, and the teachers here in the high school, that's the reason why. Their accountability for the kids and the kids stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, it was ironic you say that, because I was in the hallway this morning and I was showing somebody who was a visitor here the banners on the wall for AP, and we can't have them anymore. We don't have room to have them. We're going to have some different plan from where we've gone in 2011 to where we are with the number of kids passing and getting qualifying scores on AP exams.
And that's exactly what happened. The banner people said, we just can't keep doing this. You have too many kids.
Yeah.
So we're moving that
Nice
and changing
problem.
that. That's a good problem
Nice
to have.
problem to
And it's
have.
really because the culture that's set in this high school, from the junior high, from the 4 elementaries, you couldn't ask for anything better as a parent to say, we're sending your kids to a school that focuses on what we do. We're not perfect, but you know what? We'll always pick up the phone and listen and go from there.
You know, it's interesting. I've been in classes this week to talk about a program here in town called Scholarships for Speedway. And I talked to 6 English classes this week and told them much of the very same things that you just talked about the culture that's been created here. And I thank them, because for 4 years, these seniors have helped carry on that culture of being where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there. I stood out in the hall in between periods, and when a period would end, there'd be nobody in the hall. Kids are where they're supposed to be. And the other advantage they have here is we have good teachers, and teachers are willing to help. And that's a point kids made to me. I know that my teachers, if I have questions, they'll answer them, they'll stay after, they'll come in early, and that doesn't happen everywhere either.
And this was a Friday afternoon. And we know that maybe some people have their thoughts of what happened in their buildings when they were in high school. Whatnot.
Right.
But when you come to Speedway High School, we get after it. The teachers get after it, bell to bell, Monday through Friday, and that's the difference.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal thing to see on a Friday afternoon for an old principals to sit there and look down the hall and go, where's the people?
Yeah.
They're in the classrooms.
Anything else?
Well, I'd like to say congratulations to Chief Campbell. He retired here recently, and I've been here going on 9 years or so, and he's been a part of my life, and I'll miss him. I think we're in good hands with the Speedway Police, Speedway Fire, the town council. We're all in this together, and I heard Coach Bennett say that before, and tonight, what a great night that we're doing here for our heroes here in the hometown. But we do this. Our product is because of everyone. It's not one person. It's the people here and our commitment for students. And there's not a better place in the world for that, in my opinion.
I would agree. And I, too, would like to give a shout-out to Chief Campbell. He's a friend. He's been a great person for this town to lead our police, I think, 11 years. I know we've got a resource officer here at school. We have a great alliance and a great relationship with the police and fire department here, and not everyone has that either.
Right.
So thank you very much. I appreciate you coming in. And we'll be back for lineups for tonight's game. Once again, a reminder, prior to that time, in between games, we'll have a program with a band and choir to honor fire, police, and veterans. We'll be right back. Good evening once again, basketball fans. This is Tom Smith. I am here with Speedway High School's football coach tonight, Shane Clampett, to bring you the varsity boys basketball game between our Speedway Sparkplugs and the visiting Greenwood Christian Academy Cougars. Let's talk first about starting lineups for the Cougars. One of the guards, number 13, Ian Reed, a 5'11 junior. Also a guard, Noah Reed, a 5'10 freshman, number 21. Max Boer is the leading, actually tied for the leading scorer for the Cougars. He's number 23. He's a 5'11 sophomore, averaging 13.5 points a game. Also averaging 13.5 points a game is junior, a 6'3" junior, number 34, Blake Shoemaker. And rounding out the starting lineup for the Cougars, Matt Feike, number 33, a 6'4" senior. They are coached by Jackson Williams. This is his first year at Greenwood Christian Academy, and their record is 5-6. They are a 1A school here in Indiana. For the Speedway Sparkplugs and their starting lineup, who enter the game under the tutelage of Coach Charles Bennett, are 2-5. They've lost the last 3 games by 1 possession, as Coach Bennett mentioned in his pregame interview. All the 1 possession in each of the last 3 games. They will start pretty much the same starting lineup they have in the past, and that would be Nate Metallic, number 3, leading scorer for the Sparkplugs at 12.5 points a game. He's a 6'5" junior. Number 20, Eli Givens, will start tonight at forward, a 6'1" senior. Number 20, Reese Walker. And I said Nate Metallic by mistake, leading scorer. Leading scorer is Reese Walker at 16.7 points per game. Reese is a 5'9" senior, number 24. We've talked about him and his football great season he had this past year, and we'll talk to Coach Clampett about that in just a moment. Also, Cale Bennett, number 25, will start, a 5'11" junior guard. He's averaging 11.3 points per game, and rounding out the starting lineup for the Sparkplugs will be number 32, Landon Short, a 6'3" sophomore. Once again, the Plugs will enter the game at 2-5. The Cougars are 5-6. Coach, leave basketball just a moment here and quickly talk about the football season. A great football season. You had your first year as Speedway's coach this past year.
Yeah, thank you. It was a real enjoyable season. The kids put a lot of work in over the spring and summer, and it was nice to see them get some of the rewards from their hard work. So we were really pleased with how the first season went, but we're trying to build and win some championships this next season. So.
Well, I know I talked to J.P. Claiborne, the principal, today, and I asked him, tell me something good about the high school. And he said the fall semester went a lot faster because there was enthusiasm in the building, which was great for our school.
Yeah, it was a real special time. The kids, the band, the football team. It was an exciting fall. Everyone was committed and enjoying themselves, and we had a great soccer season with the boys soccer and the girls soccer. So it was an exciting fall. It was an enjoyable fall to be around.
Well, we have a special night tonight that we talked about with Coach Bennett, and that's to honor our firemen, our policemen, and veterans here tonight. So we will turn it over to the program, our band and our choirs.
At this time, I'd like to introduce Speedway High School's head coach, Charles Bennett.
Tonight, we are going to honor our hometown heroes, our police, firefighters, and veterans that serve or have served selflessly to make our community, our country, the world a better place. I'd like to give a special shout out to Coach Williams and Greenwood Christian for coming on board tonight, getting the shirts and all that. At this time, if I could have any police officer who's here tonight come out to center court. If you're not in uniform and you're up here in the crowd, if you're able, if you can walk down to center court, that would be great. To our police officers, we thank you for living out the motto, protect and serve daily. You proudly serve our community day in and day out. You put yourself in harm's way at a moment's notice, and yet you provide a calming influence in our community, letting us know that you will protect us. We are especially thankful for our past SRO, Mark Jones, and our current SRO, Jeremy Howery. We are fortunate in the Speedway school system to have a great police department that protects and serves our schools. At this time, we're going to get another picture with both teams on each side of the police officer. So if you step out there, we get a quick picture. At this time, I know we have several firefighters in the audience over there, so if you step out in the mid-court, if there's any other firefighters that are not in uniform or not on duty tonight, if you want to step out in the mid-court, that'd be awesome as well. To the firefighters, we say thank you for taking on a job that can be dangerous. We thank you for wanting to be the first in and the last out. We thank you for serving 24-hour shifts. Those are days that you can't spend with your family. You miss important holidays, birthdays, and other occasions, and for that we are grateful. We are especially thankful for the presentations you make to our schools and the tours that are given, and we are extremely fortunate to have a fire department that's willing to sacrifice so much. Thank you. Another quick picture. Come out there, boys. And the last group we want to recognize are our veterans. If there are any veterans in the audience, if you would make your way down here if you're able. Mr. Dorsey, sorry to call you out. Come on down here. I know Mr. Dorsey works in our school, former Army man, and any other veterans that can make their way to the middle of the court, that would be great. To our veterans, we thank you for being models of self-sacrifice and determination. We thank you for serving our country in peace and war. We thank you for serving and putting your life in harm's way. We also thank you for serving alongside those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice. While tonight is a great way to say thank you, we all should try harder to thank you on a daily basis. I'll close with a quote from Abraham Lincoln. Honor to the soldier and sailor everywhere who bravely bears his country's cause. Honor also to the citizen who cares for his brother in the field and serves as best he can. The same cause, honor to him. Only less than to him who braves for the common good the storms of heaven and the storms of battle. Thank you again for your service. And finally, to close out our Hometown Heroes Night, our band director, Mrs. Moll, top notch over there. You can see how many students we have in band and choir. For the last 4 years, she's performing at Veterans Day, Armed Services Medley, and then into the National Anthem. So please enjoy the music for our band and choir, and then it'll be followed up by the National Anthem. Thanks again. School. Dedicated for our band, our choir, our veterans, firefighters, and police officers. And now let's meet the starting lineups. First for the visiting Cougars, starting at one guard, number 13, Ian Reed. At guard, number 21,
Once again,
Noah
we
Reed.
go back over the starting lineups. Ian Reed, a 6'5", 11 junior. Noah Reed, a 5'10" freshman, number 21. Number 23, Max Boer, averaging 13.5 points a game, a 5'11" sophomore. Matt Tyke, a 6'4" senior, number 33, will be at one forward. And also tied for their leading scorer, Blake Shoemaker, a 6'3" junior. 13.5 points a game. He is also their leading rebounder. They're coached by Jackson Williams, 5-6 record. And now for the Sparkplugs. Number 3, Nate Metallic, a 6'5" junior, leading rebounder at 6.2 points rebound, 6.2 rebounds per game and 12.5 points a game. Eli Givens, number 20, a 6'1" senior. Reese Walker, a 5'9" senior, the leading scorer at 16.7 points per game. Cale Bennett, 11.3 points per game. Number 25, a 5'11" junior. Rounding out the starting lineup, number 32, Landon Short, a 6'3" sophomore, who will be at forward. So coaches, we know at schools our size, you can't have one sport athletes and function very well. A lot of these kids out here on the basketball team, or several of them anyway, you had in football that are 2- and 3-sport athletes here at Speedway, which we have to make our athletic program successful.
Yeah, we have quite a few. 3 of those starters on our basketball team were starters on our football team. Reese Walker was one of our leaders. Eli Givens and Landon Short did a great job. And then, you know, Cale and Nate played soccer. So
all 5 of them were in a fall sport.
Yes, they were.
Sparkplugs get the tip. Cale Bennett with a 3-point shot attempt. It's off. A rebound by Blake Shoemaker. Plugs in a man-to-man defense, as you will see probably most of the night. That's kind of their staple defensively, is that man-to-man.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how they guard some of these actions early in this game to see what the game plan is.
I know with their 2 guys that are averaging 13.5 points a game. One, as we mentioned, was Max Boer, and that's who Coach Bennett talked about in his pregame thing. He's interested to see Reese Walker and Max Boer because he said he probably hadn't had anybody guard him like Reese Walker will. There's a steal by Landon Short. Ball goes out of bounds, and it'll be Sparkplug's ball on the turnover.
Yeah, that was a great job by Landon of hedging hard on that screen, that ball screen, and getting the turnover.
Might mention Coach Clamp is he is the football coach, but last year he was part of the basketball program, very knowledgeable in basketball also. Speedway misses a shot inside, no score with a minute gone in the game. Shot from Ian Reed is off. Nate Metallic down with the rebound, brings it down floor. Cale Bennett to Eli Givens. Reese Walker.
Looks like we're playing a little 5 open or 4 out, 1 in right now with some dribble drive.
We're going to have a foul on 34, Blake Shoemaker.
It's a good drive by Landon Short.
You know, talking, it's interesting seeing him coming out here in a man-to-man defense because Coach Bennett has seen him play 2 or 3 times and said predominantly they're a zone team. But Coach Williams, before the game, said they've really worked hard on man-to-man and they're trying to make that their go-to defense. Landon Short is going to be at the free throw line for 2 free throws. Again, the first foul on Blake Shoemaker.
It's be good to land and get to the foul line early, make a couple free throws, and get some confidence. He's a very talented athlete that has a lot of potential. He was a JV player for me last year when I was on the basketball team, and I was always really impressed with his skill level. And his ability to attack the basket.
Coach, I wonder what's going on. There may be a wrong number in the book, or nope, I guess not. Landon Short misses the first free throw. Wasn't sure why they stopped play and went out and
I don't think the clock was running. I think they had some clock issues.
I thought maybe they had a wrong number in the book or something. It was going to be a technical foul. So Short hits the second of 2 free throws.
Speedway's in the diamond and 1 press here.
Max Boer with a field goal. Greenwood Christian Academy takes a 2-1 lead. Once again, Greenwood Christian Academies.
They're in their zone now.
Now they're in a zone defense.
Yep.
Ball goes into Givens in the high post.
Speedway looked like it was attacking it with a basic kind of a 1-3-1 zone offense that most people run against the 2-3, trying to attack the short corners and the high post.
Eli Givens inside and rolls one in for his first field goal and the first field goal for the Sparkplugs.
It's a nice move by Givens. Really nice play.
Good hustle play by Landon Short. The ball will remain with Greenwood Christian.
If their 2-3 is going to be extended like that, we're going to need our big guys to make plays in the high post.
Shoemaker on the drive, misses. Plugs come down with a rebound. Reese Walker. Landon Short, shot blocked by 33, Matt Tyke.
That's okay. I like seeing him go to the basket early. I think that's a good sign for us.
Max Boer for his 5th point. He has all 5 points for the Cougars. Plugs trail 5-3. Cale Bennett with a 3-pointer, no good. Offensive rebound by Reese Walker, puts it back and is fouled on the play.
It's a great effort play by Reese Walker. 5'9", getting to the weak side rebound and getting the and one there.
Reese Walker averaging 5.1 rebounds per game.
That is not surprising. He is as tough as nails.
Misses the free throw. So we're tied at 5. 4:40 left in this first half, and a shot blocked by Nate Metallic right in front of the Speedway bench. Will be Greenwood Christian Academy ball. Once again, 5-5 here at the start. Boer scores again. He's got all 7 of their points.
That's a nice finish by him.
Yes, it is. Noah Reed with the field goal. And very quickly, 9-5 in favor of the Cougars. Ball goes inside to Landon Short and misses the short shot inside. Stolen by Reese Walker and a layup.
Big play by Reese Walker there. You know, not hanging his head, not turning around, staying in the game, making a play.
Got a 30-second timeout taken by the Sparkplugs. Their first. 4:04 remaining in this first quarter. The Cougars lead the Sparkplugs 9-7.
I could tell you we need to get some stops. Giving up 9 points in the first 4 minutes. They're on average for a 20-point quarter. You know, that's going to put us behind the 8 ball. We got to do a better job defensively in limiting Brewer. He's got a few buckets already. He's their leading scorer. Hopefully we can do a better job of slowing him down in the second half of this quarter.
Well, as we've said several times, he's averaging 13.5 a game, and he's already got 7. I know that's the guy that Coach Bennett said they wanted to pay particular attention to. And part of those have been on fast breaks and turnovers that ended up in ball going the other way quickly. But
yeah, Reese Walker's a phenomenal defender. He enjoys the challenge of guarding the team's best player every night.
Cale Bennett's another one that's done a good job defensively for the Sparkplugs up to this point. Matt Tyke, we're going to have an offensive foul.
Right on cue. Cale Bennett with a great help side defensive play.
Matt Tyke with the foul, his first.
Looks like Greenwood
Team's
Christian's
third.
in a 2-2-1 press here. Looks like that was just a token press to slow down our transition offense a little bit.
Nate Metallic with the 15-foot jumper, no good. Cougars come down with a rebound. That
Good defense by Nate Metallic.
thought that was going to be off Shoemaker, but ball stays with the Cougars.
You know, in the article that was in the Indy Star, they said that's the toughest call for officials. Out of bounds off of a guy.
Blake Shoemaker with a field goal.
Good dive.
Nate Metallic for 3, it's no good. And that's going to be a foul on Metallic.
That was good offense by the Sparkplugs. They got the ball in the short corner, you know, reversed it, got a good look in the corner with a good player with Nate, just didn't go down.
Noah Reed, 5'10" freshman, ball handler for the Cougars. Boer for 3 in the corner. He now got 10 of their 14 points.
That was a nice set by Greenwood Christian. 2 double staggers, tough action to guard, and a nice shot by Max.
Cale Bennett for 3, and it's good. Bennett's first field goal, a 3-pointer, and the first 3-pointer for the Plugs.
He's done a nice job shooting the ball all year. He's a good shooter. He may be our best outside shooter.
Matt Tyke hits a 3 also, and a 17-10. Greenwood Christian Academy. 2-3 zone once again for the Cougars. Eli Owens into the ball game for the Sparkplugs.
Good ball movement.
Nice pass inside to Jackson Crawford, and he hits the field goal. Just entered the game, and a nice pass from Reese Walker.
That was a great job of the Sparkplugs, moving the ball side to side, attacking the gaps, getting a layup. It looks to me that Coach Bennett is going to trap ball screens. Looks like they're going to play really aggressively and try to force some turnovers on ball screens. Landon jumped one earlier, and Jackson did a nice job of trapping that ball screen.
And that's going to be Reese Walker's first foul. Be Cougars ball, sideline out of bounds. Foul on Cale Bennett. His first. Ashton Cornelius into the ball game for the Sparkplugs, a 6'3" senior.
Sparkplugs need to get a stop here. This is a big possession here. Nice box out by
Cornelius comes down with a rebound. We got the stop you asked for. Now we need more than one. Nate Metallic for three. No good. Eli Owens. Noah Reed come down. Got a jump ball. The Greenwood ball.
Yeah, that was a.
And that was a good shot as well.
That was a good shot. We were right here. That looked right on line.
And just like right there, Coach, we got to come out with more 50-50 balls than
yes,
we're coming
we do.
out with. Boer scores again.
He's made a bunch of tough shots.
12 points this first quarter, 19-12, 10 seconds left in the quarter. You know, Coach, there's, and I heard the coaches from the sideline yelling, got some seniors out there on the floor and juniors with the experience and so on. Need to be better and get a shot at the end of the quarter.
Yeah, we do.
And it's high school basketball. They're going to make mistakes just like everybody else does, but that's one we need to take advantage of.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Nate or Reese attack there and hopefully get their feet in the lane and maybe draw a foul or get a kick out for one of our shooters. But you know, more importantly, we can't give up 19-point quarters. We're not going to do very well giving up 19-point quarters. So Sparkplugs need to lock in defensively, and I'm sure that's what Coach Bennett's talking to them right now about, getting dialed in, guarding a little harder, coming up with some of those 50-50 balls. I think offensively we're doing an okay job of attacking the zone, and we'll get some shots to go down. But more importantly, defense will lead to offense if you can get some stops and get out and get some easy transition buckets before that zone gets set up.
You know, the first quarter we kind of relied on jump shots. We've also got to get the ball inside. We've talked about this in other ball games. If you can get the ball inside, even if it goes inside and then out, you're going to end up with a better shot than if it's just passed around the perimeter and getting a shot.
Absolutely. We've got to get the ball down the short corner and attack there, this 2-3 zone. Yeah. You got to get the ball inside out.
Right. Creighton Bennett now in for the Sparkplugs, his first action tonight.
Good skip pass.
Nate Metallic with the rebound, misses the putback. It's going to be a Sparkplug ball.
There's a great example of what you're talking about. Got it down the shorts corner, skipped it out, got a good look for a good shooter. Just didn't go down.
Yeah, Cale is one of the leading three-point shooters on the season so far. Nice lob pass into Reese Walker, but his shot's partially blocked.
He's got to keep playing right now, keep battling. Good things will happen if you stay confident and keep battling.
Matt Tyke with the lob.
Yeah, Creighton got caught trying to front. Good inside. Good job there by the Sparkplugs.
Yeah, good assist there and a field goal by Creighton Bennett, his first score of the night, and he'll have a chance at the old-fashioned three-point play. Plugs trail by 7, 21-14, 7:02 remaining in the first half.
Yeah, hopefully he can knock this down. We can get into a press and try to speed them up a little bit.
Free throws missed. Creighton Bennett had been 3 for 3 from the free throw line for the year up to that point. Plugs come up with a turnover. Walker with the ball, Metallic. Cale Bennett with 3 from the corner, no good. Rebound by Landon Short, puts it back, misses it.
Yeah, he didn't get that one on the backboard.
And a steal by Landon Short.
Use that backboard. That's what it's there for. When you get inside. I know you talked about that with me when I was a high school player. I remember specifically talking about that with you.
Use the backboard. Plugs now trail by 5, and like you said earlier, we need to get some stops.
Yep, string a few together. One of the goals I always talked about was 3 stops in a row. 3 stops in a row can create a run if you can get that. We've got one. Didn't get another one there.
Tyke for 2. He's got 7 points now. We're going to have Nate Metallic going to the free throw line.
Tyke's done a good job of sealing in there and getting some position.
That was on number 33, Matt Tyke.
That's Tyke's second foul.
Nate Metallic at the line, shoot 2 for the Plugs.
Metallic will be at the line to shoot 2 for the Sparkplugs. 23-16. 5:40 left in this first half.
That's good for him. He's had some good looks that have just missed. I always think going to the foul line and seeing the ball go in a couple times can really help your confidence and get you playing well.
Jackson Crawford, or Jackson Smith. Maybe I said Jackson Crawford before. It's his middle name.
Is that his middle name?
Yes. Jackson Smith back in the lineup along with Eli Owens. Nice move and nice field goal by Blake Shoemaker. 25-17.
Good flash. Good shot.
Jackson Smith with a field goal. His 4th point on the night. That's going to be Sparkplug ball. 6-point deficit, 25-19. Reese Walker will bring the ball up for the Sparkplugs.
They've done a better
again,
job. Oh, I'm sorry.
Nope. Nate Metallic, Reese Walker, Eli Owens, Jackson Smith, Landon Short out on the floor for the Sparkplugs. And a 3-pointer from Metallic. The Plugs trail by 3.
It's a big shot. Get him going a little bit. Another one of those 50-50 balls we talked about.
Exactly what I was going to say. One of those 50-50 balls we didn't come up with, and they end up with a 3-pointer.
That's a big swing. But you got to keep playing if you're the Plugs here. Got to keep playing. Keep playing hard. Stay together. Some of those will, keep battling. You'll get some of those as the game goes along.
Two threes in a row from the corner by Ian Reed.
Yeah, it looked like we had some communication issues on our transition defense there. They did a nice job of sprinting back, but we're having a little trouble getting matched up there.
Landon Short's going to go to the free throw line. Believe the foul will be on 22. Parker Satre.
Landon's done a nice job of getting in there. He just needs to do a little better job of finishing and getting the ball up. But he's done a nice job of finding some holes in that zone.
Landon has struggled from the free throw line, shooting only 38% coming into the game. He's 1 for 3 so far tonight.
That's surprising. He's a good shooter. He's been a good shooter. I've known Landon and his family for a long time. He's a good shooter. Has a nice release. I mean, everything's solid. He just needs to keep staying with it. I can't stress that enough. As a shooter, you got to keep believing in yourself and think the next one's going to go in. Good pressure by the Plugs there.
(31-23), 3 minutes, 30 seconds left in this first half. Foul is on Cale Bennett, his second. Ian Reed with the offensive rebound put back and has a chance at a three-point play.
He's had a good quarter for them. Made a couple shots, big hustle play there.
Now the biggest lead deficit for the Sparkplugs. They trail by 12 now. Nate Metallic with a shot, no good. Jackson Smith with the rebound, he gets fouled.
Good work by Jackson there. Good effort, good battle. Felt like we had just cut it to 2 or 3 on that three-pointer, and then a quick spurt by the Greenwood Christian. Now we're down 12.
Jackson Smith, another one who has struggled from the free throw line for the year. Eli Givens returns, taking the place of Cale Bennett, who's picked up his second foul.
Yeah, we have struggled from the line tonight. I'll tell you, as a former basketball coach, it is hard to practice pressure free throws, game situation free throws. You practice them, you put different situations together, but we need to knock some of those down.
Going to be Greenwood Christian ball. Landon Short back in the lineup, replacing Jackson Smith.
To finish this quarter strong. Get it down under single digits.
Nate Metallic with the rebound off the Blake Shoemaker
ahead.
miss.
Oh. Great push ahead. Got to rotate out of that. If we're going to trap those ball screens, we got to be able to rotate on the backside. Good rotation by Eli Owens there. I'd like to see
Walker with the ball for the Sparkplugs. Eli Owens on the shot.
Good rebound. I'd like to see us push the ball ahead with the pass a little bit and try to beat that zone before it gets set up. I think we can get some looks. Good pass.
Can't get the ball to fall in the basket.
No, we can't.
got a foul on Eli Givens. His first.
Fouls on Speedway number 20, Eli Gibbons.
You know, we've talked before up here, Coach, at games, and this has been one of those first halves. Hopefully the second half isn't like that. Well, when you're not shooting the ball well and you've missed as many shots inside as we have, it's tough to get a flow in the game when you don't score those easy baskets that you have. That, you know, multiple players have had easy baskets or easy shots around the basket and haven't been able to get them go in. And
you know, you're right. But I've been watching. And as a coach, I always watch for little things, and I've seen teammates pick each other up after those misses. Because the biggest thing right now is you got to keep trusting each other and keep playing for each other, and believing in each other. And it looks like the Plugs have done a good job of that so far.
It's not a matter of taking bad shots. We've taken good shots. They just haven't gone in.
We did a better job defensively that quarter, except for that little spurt. They went on that little run. Number 13, Ian Reed, made those 2 threes and got a putback. But besides that, in that minute and a half, I thought we were much better defensively. I thought our rotations were better. Again, you just got to stay the course, right? You got to keep believing. You got to keep trusting. You got to keep caring and playing together. So
get a few of those shots to fall coming back the second half. We're right back in the ball game.
Yep.
We will be right back with your halftime scoring in just a moment. Once again, we are back here at Morris Pollard Gymnasium. I am Tom Smith, along with Shane Klampa, our high school football coach here at the Speedway Sparkplugs. Also last year's JV coach, so he knows about basketball, football, baseball, you name it, and Shane knows it.
I coached track last year.
Let's talk a little bit about scoring in the first half for the Greenwood Christian Academy. Leading scorer Max Boer had 12 points. Ian Reed had 8. Noah Reed 2. Parker Satre 2. Matt Tyke had 7 points, 4 in that last quarter. 2 quick baskets right in a row that kind of got them started. Blake Shoemaker, one of their leading scorers, only had 4 points the first half. But Max Boer's 12 points, in the first quarter. He didn't score in the second quarter. They had 6 different players that scored for their total of 35 points. For the Sparkplugs, the good news was we had 7 different people that scored. The bad news is nobody scored more than 4 points. Nate Metallic had 4, Reese Walker had 4, Jackson Smith had 4, Landon Short had 4, Eli Givens 2, and Creighton Bennett 2.
Yeah, let's hope we got the lid off the basket.
And Cale Bennett 3. I knew that wasn't the right amount. Cale Bennett 3. But this quarter, or this half, hopefully the lid comes off the basket at the south end of the gym. And the Sparkplug shooting percentage hopefully will go up this second half. As we said, they kind of struggled to score around the basket. They missed jump shots. I don't know what the shooting percentages was the first half, but wasn't very good for the Sparkplugs, and we need to have a good half of basketball here and get us back in the game quickly. I think Greenwood Christian Academy appears to be a team that if they got a lead, they're going to be able to protect the ball. They got a good ball handling group of players, so we got to get back in the game where we're not chasing them down in the last minute of the game.
I think so. I think Coach Bennett and Coach Murley and Coach Maz got into those guys a little bit and told them pick up their effort a little bit, and hopefully we can start the game, get some energy going, give our student section, they're starting to stand up now, and get this place rocking a little bit.
Bring on Lance Stevenson.
How neat was that the other night?
Yeah. First time in the history of the NBA that somebody scored 20 straight points in a basketball game, and it was in the first quarter.
On a guy on a 10-day contract.
Yes, which shows you it can happen anytime. Jackson Smith with a missed jumper along the baseline. Greenwood Christian on the move. The ball goes to corner for three-pointer. Noah Reed with a three-pointer. That's his 5th point.
It's a tough way to start the second half. Cale with a good look there. Just didn't go down. Plugs get the turnover there. Let's see if we can turn something in and get a bucket here.
Nate Metallic with a tough jump shot. Landon Short comes up with the rebound, goes up, misses.
Good battle.
Gets his own rebound again and gets fouled.
I'd like to see that first one get on the backboard. Get it high up on that square. Give yourself a chance to get the ball in. I know it's easier said than done. I've been there. You got people around you, bodies banging you. But good job of fighting through it and getting the second rebound and getting to the foul line.
Nice form, nice make there by Landon. Now 3 for 5 on the night from the free throw line. Misses the second one. So the Plugs are 4 for 12 from the free throw line on the night, and that's a basket by Blake Shoemaker, his 6th point, and a 16-point lead for Greenwood Academy Cougars.
Yeah, we didn't do a very good job in transition defense there. We didn't get the ball stopped till it got too deep in the lane.
Foul on Noah Reed to be Sparkplug ball out of bounds underneath their own basket.
Good out of
Cale
bounds
Bennett
play.
on the little jump shot. A nice pass from Nate Metallic for the field goal. And the foul on Ian Reed.
It's a good set by the Plugs there. A little screen-the-screener action. Get a nice shot. Get the and one. Hopefully we can get going now. Got to make some free throws.
Cale Bennett's 8 for 8 for the year.
Yeah.
We just don't have anybody hitting free throws to shorten that gap.
Yep.
Still trail by 14.
Travel.
Good defense by Jackson Smith.
Yes, it was. I don't know if we changed our game plan a little bit there, but looked like Jackson played behind Tiki there because, you know, he had a couple steals in the first half. Maybe an adjustment that the Plugs have made at halftime. You get Reese going. That's his shot right there.
Reese Walker, 15-foot jump shot.
He's usually a really good pull-up jump shot.
Yes, he is. Greenwood basketball underneath their basket. Got to come up with that rebound.
Yes, we do. Second chance leads to another three there by Greenwood Christian.
Noah Reed with his second three of the period. Plugs trail by 17.
Good drive.
Reese Walker with a good drive and a field goal.
Get him going.
His 6th point of the night. Plugs trail by 15, 4:40 remaining in this third quarter.
There's enough time if we can get a run there, grab the ball. Good push ball
Came
here.
up with one of those 50-50 balls.
He's so tough in transition. So
Reese
tough.
Walker takes it all the way to the basket, and that's his 8th point on the night.
Good call. It's a jump ball call there. He got his hand on the ball there.
And that was. He went straight up.
You know, there we got to stop. We got a 50-50 ball. We got it to Reese in transition, and he is tough to stop once he gets going downhill. They don't get to set up their zone. You know, it lets us be in our attack mode. But it all starts with stops. And I know Coach Bennett, you know, preaches defense, and he knows that as well as anybody. But we just got to dig in and get some stops and try to get out and get some easy buckets and get this thing going. You know, we got it down to 13 here. You know, you're playing little, you know, quarter games here. You know, you've been a coach, you know that. You're trying to get it to 7 here by the end of this quarter. You know,
Right.
setting little goals for your team to keep battling. There, grab it, good.
And that's going to be a
Block.
foul on the defense, a block.
I think he may have just fell just a little early. It looked like he may have been set. But again, we come up with a 50-50 ball. We get the ball in transition. Nate's going to go to the foul line here. Let's make some free throws here.
You know, our last home game we did on TV was against Crawfordsville, I believe, if I remember correctly, and they hit 21 out of 22 free throws during the game or something. Yep. They missed one free throw, hit 19 in a row. Second free throw by Nate Metallic.
Good, we get into our press here.
Now it's 11 points. Eli Owens into the game for the Sparkplugs.
the press got what we wanted there. We got them to take a quick shot. We just got to come up with the rebound.
And, we've talked up here before many times, the press, if you can get them to take a shot they wouldn't take off their offense, and the press is just like getting a steal as long as you get the rebound.
It is.
Shoemaker with a nice drive, though. The lead goes back to 13.
Almost got that one, just didn't roll in there. Got to get a stop here. We got to get a stop.
Blake Shoemaker with his 6th point of the quarter.
Another second chance bucket there.
So they've got 12 points this quarter. 6 points from 2 different players. Reese Walker with a foul. His second.
There's an adjustment by Greenwood Christian. A quick slip on the ball screen, expecting the trap. Good job
one of
with
the
them.
things, and we've talked a little bit about it tonight defensively, but you see this at every level, Coach. You look at Purdue. As good as they began the season, that's a field goal by Eli Owens. They're out of sorts defensively now, too. With all the talent that they have, some games you just, for whatever reason, fundamentals, the things you've done all year long in other games aren't getting done or don't work in some games. You look at Purdue and they give up 37 points to a guy the other night, and they're 1-2 in the Big Ten, and at one time, for a very short time, they were number 1 in the country and looked like they belong there and may stay there a while. And the chemistry and what goes on, and like you have said several times, you got to keep pulling for one another. You know what to do. It just needs to get done.
I think you're exactly right. In those situations, you need to over-communicate. You need to, continue to battle. The plugs need to continue to work and stay together. But you're right. There are those nights, and especially when you're not making shots, it's
right.
easy for us to sit here and say it's tough. It's draining on you mentally as a group. They've had 3 tough losses. The lid's on the basket tonight. But I know these kids. I know this staff. I know they're going to play hard. I know they're going to keep playing here. Again, you got 2.5 minutes. Try to get it under 10. Keep playing. Good things can happen if you stay together and just keep playing hard and believing in each other. I've said it 4 or 5 times tonight, but I believe it that much.
Well, and we've said it several times in games. One of the things you can always say about our kids is they play hard. Now, they haven't come up with the 50-50 balls for whatever reason tonight, as well as they sometimes do, but it's never for a lack of effort or a lack of knowing what to do.
Oh, no. Coach Bennett's fantastic. I've worked for him for 18 years. I don't know if there's anyone more detail-oriented than he is. But you got to play through, some unlucky plays and some bad breaks. Because the ball doesn't always bounce your way.
And they are unconscious. They have shot a tremendous field goal percentage from the field in this game. Now out to 19 points. Greenwood Christian player out of bounds when he touched the ball, so it'll be Sparkplug ball on the sideline.
They've made what, probably 7, 8 threes? They've shot the ball well, you're right.
And they've been very unselfish. They've done, not to take anything away from them, because they have really shot the ball well, and they're very unselfish. I'd say on a big majority of their shots there have been assists on the play. It hasn't been one-on-one moves that got them to the basket.
Oh, I agree. They're getting standstill, catch and shoots, good rhythm jump shots. And high school kids will make those.
The thing that I'm sure is disappointing Coach Bennett is he talked about 3 great days of practice they'd had right in a row this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And I'm sure he thought the results from those practices would take place in the game, and up to this point it hasn't. Like you say, the important thing is these are good kids, and they'll be good school citizens, they'll be good employees. On down the road, they'll be good husbands.
Yeah, I would argue they're great kids. These are some unbelievably great kids, come from great families, do all the right things. Again, if we get a couple buckets, a couple stops, get right back in this thing and see what happens.
Number 10, Jordan Coleman. Number 23, Max Stewart into the game for the Cougars.
19-point deficit for the Sparkplugs, 56.7 seconds left in this third quarter.
Ball's bouncing around, just not bouncing to us.
Good rebound by Reese Walker.
This is where he's so good. Double coming for Nate here.
Well defended by Greenwood Christian.
Yeah, they did a nice job with that action. The Plugs got it down to 12 there with about 4 minutes, and it seems like every time we get a couple buckets, ball doesn't seem to bounce our way, and they get a couple buckets and a couple threes and push the lead back out. It's going to be, interesting to see, if we can make a little run here to start this quarter, because I know this staff, like I said, and I know these kids, they're going to keep playing. They're going to keep battling. And you know how it is. You've been around basketball long enough. If you make a couple shots and you get the crowd kind of going, the band's back out here. We can make a run here. I don't think this thing's over by any means. We have some guys like Nate Metallic and Kale can get hot and Reese can get going. But you're right, Greenwood Christian, give them a lot of credit too. They've done a nice job of moving the basketball, sharing the basketball, making shots. We're trying to speed them up and turn them over, and they've done a good job of handling our pressure. But that can change in one quarter. That can definitely change in one quarter, and but it starts with one possession at a time. We need to get a good possession here. It's our ball. Make something happen here.
One of the things that's changed, and while up to this point tonight we haven't done a great job, the three-pointer changes everything with getting back in games too.
Absolutely. The game's played there nowadays.
Yes.
Good move by Landon. It's almost to the point where guys like Reese who shoot that pull-up 15-footer, it's almost a lost art. It's threes and layups.
That's right.
When I coached, that was one of the things we talked about. We don't want to give up any catch and shoots, and we don't want to give any straight line drives up. If a kid makes a pull-up jumper, you clap and you move on. get this one in. This is a big one, so we can set up our press here. I don't know if we'll man press them or zone press them, but I know Coach Bennett will want to press here but we didn't get it to go in.
Get the ball back. Reese Walker on the shot, short.
Looked like he may have got hit in the arm there.
I was going to say, I think there was a reason why that shot was short.
Good defense by Nate there. Good move. Good.
Out by Ian Reed. Reese Walker will go to the line for 2. Well, it isn't for a lack of free throw shot attempts tonight. Greenwood has had 1 free throw attempt. Greenwood Christian Academy, 1 free throw attempt all night. And I know at one point we were 3 for 10. And I know it's not gotten any better. So we've had free throw attempts, and you look at all the points you give up on those. And we got to turn that around as well.
Yeah, that's a good thing we're getting to the foul line. Means we're going to the basket. That was one of, the goals I always set for myself when I played and when I coached, was trying to get to the foul line. But we got to capitalize when we get there, and we have not done a great job of that tonight. And then obviously, if you make those shots, then you can set up your press and you can do other things. And we haven't been able to get that done tonight.
Because we need some quick scores.
Yes.
In addition to maybe hitting some threes that we haven't hit up to this point, we got to get some steals and turn defense into offense in a hurry.
Yeah, we do. And we're running out of time to get it done. Yeah, but Reese here knocked these 2 down, and like I said, I don't know if Coach Bennett or zone press here or man press, but I'm sure he's got something up his sleeve.
Into the lineup for Greenwood Christian, number 10, Jordan Tallman, a 5'8" sophomore. His first time in the ball game.
Greenwood's pretty young, aren't they? A lot of sophomores, a couple freshmen, a couple juniors.
Reese Walker with the free throw. Now 1 for 2 from the free throw line on the night. One of Sparkplugs' better free throw shooters. It's both of them.
A little man-to-man press here. Legal screen.
I think so. Fouls on 10. Jordan Tallman.
No, read back to the game for the Cougars.
See if we can get Reese going back to the basket again here.
Nice spin move by Reese Walker. You called it, Coach.
Got to get back in transition there. We almost got caught again. Good. Dig in, and get another stop here.
They have hurt us on 3-pointers.
Yes, they have.
That's the 3rd 3-pointer for Noah Reed. He's got 11 on the night. Nate Walker. Nate Metallic. I'm going to get it here in a minute. I've got everybody's name from Speedway wrong tonight once anyway. Nate Metallic with a miss. Matt Tyke comes back.
Nice move by him.
Scores. And that's his 13th point on the night. Reese Walker with the miss on the short jump shot. Greenwood Christian, and that's going to be a foul on Walker.
Yeah, just he's playing hard. Just came through the guy there.
So Walker with 12 points up to this point, the leading scorer for the Sparkplugs. The deficit now 20 with 5 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Tough shot.
That was Boer's first field goal since the first quarter.
He made a couple of those tough ones there in the first quarter.
He did.
But yeah, that's a good finish for a smaller guard. That's a good look for Kale. We just not getting him to go down.
Ball goes into Matt Tyke. Landon short with a good defense.
Yeah, better job of playing his left shoulder.
Cale Bennett comes down with the rebound. Takes it all the way to the basket and scores. And that's Bennett's 7th point on a night.
Nice job of using his left hand there. You'd think he's a coach's son or something.
Matt Tyke with a field goal and another assist.
Looked like we got caught over helping there.
Eli Owens for his 4th point on the night.
Nice to see him make some shots. I like Eli Owens' game. He's a glue guy. Does a lot of
The
little
very
things.
first game of the year this year against North Montgomery, he hit 3 threes in a row that kind of sparked him into action the second half of the game that we ended up winning going away, but it was his 3 threes in a row that certainly helped in that game.
Yeah, he can shoot the ball. I mean, he's definitely a good shooter. But he does a lot of little things that don't get noticed, I always thought, when I coached him and watched him play. Exactly what you talked about. You get chasing them, they space you out, make it really tough on you.
They're good ball handlers. They're very unselfish. They've got a nice basketball team.
Yeah, they do. They do. They've done a nice job. And they shot the ball really well. They've made all their shots.
Yes, they have. They've shot a really good amount from the 3-point area.
Yeah, and we haven't. But yeah, they've done a nice job of shooting the ball. They've done a nice job defensively too.
Yes, they've got 8 3-pointers in the game.
Like I said, they've done a good job on Nate. They've been denying Nate and making him work really hard for his catches and touches. They've done a good job of helping on Reese when he drives. They've done a good job of changing from man-to-man to zone. You know, they gave us that zone look, and we started getting a little more comfortable with it. And now the second half, they've been man pretty much the whole second half. And that messes with you a little bit as a player, you know.
Yeah, they have mixed up things well.
Yeah, they've done a nice job.
They've got, I think right now, 4 players in double figures, which is good balance for a team that scored 62 points to have 4 different people.
Yeah, it is.
Double figures.
I've been impressed with the Max Bauer kid. He's done a nice job.
Yeah.
You know, I know Reese, and I know how hard Reese plays, and for him to, you know, kind of get him going early, and he's done a nice job.
Ashton Cornelius getting his hands on the ball for the steal for the Sparkplugs. Nate Metallic takes the basket and misses.
Good to see Ashton.
Comes up with the ball.
You know, Ashton, I think, can help us down the road. He just got to get a little more comfortable playing in the varsity games and in our system.
Brand new to Speedway High School.
Really nice kid. Nice kid in the hallways.
That's what everybody says. He's a senior, 6'3" senior. We said earlier, they handle the ball well.
Yeah, all 5 of them. You know, they can give it to anybody, and they all do a nice job. You know, their bench is up now. Obviously, they're winning, but that shows they're doing. You know, their coach is doing the right things. Kids are bought in over there. So you know, hats off to Greenwood Christian. They played well tonight.
So the Plugs are going to fall to 2 and 6. Nate Metallic with the foul. Sparkplugs with only 3 fouls. Greenwood Christian Academy not in the 1-on-1. 40 seconds left. Plugs trail by 20.
Doesn't look like they're going to shoot again either.
No. We will be talking to Coach Bennett following the game. Get his thoughts. We said kind of a compilation of things of not coming up early with some 50-50 balls and then shooting. And when you don't shoot the ball well, and the opposite of that, when you do shoot the ball well like they did, it covers up a multitude of sins.
It does.
When you shoot the ball well.
It really does.
And that's going to be the conclusion. The Plugs are going to fall tonight, 62-42 to the Greenwood Christian Academy Cougars. We will be right back with your scoring and an interview with Coach Charles Bennett. We are back here at Morris Pollard Gymnasium, Speedway High School, where tonight our Sparkplugs fell to the Greenwood Christian Academy Cougars 62-42. The scoring for Greenwood: Ian Reed had 8 points, Noah Reed 11 points, Parker Satre 2 points, Max Boer 14, Matt Tyke 15, Blake Shoemaker 12. So 4 players for the Cougars in double figures and another player with 8. Well-balanced scoring on the part of the Cougars. For the Sparkplugs, the balanced scoring was well as also, just not as much. Reese Walker had 10. Cale Bennett had 7. Landon Short 5. Nate Metallic 6. Eli Givens 2. Eli Owens 4. Jackson Smith 4. And Creighton Bennett 2 for their total of 42. As we said during the contest tonight, the Sparkplugs struggled from the field in shooting. And when you don't shoot the ball well, you don't look very good. And that was the situation for the Sparkplugs tonight, as I'm sure Coach Bennett a little disappointed in the fact that they've had 3 really close games, have practiced well all week, and I'm sure he anticipated the Sparkplugs coming out and I shouldn't say playing better, maybe shooting the ball better than what we did tonight. We just didn't have it shooting-wise, and that's kind of strange because from the field on the year, even though we were 2-5 going into the game, we had shot a better percentage from the field than our opponents had. Not so tonight. Good offensive basketball effort from the Cougars. Sparkplugs, as always, played hard, but came up on the short end, more so due to shooting and poor shooting than anything else. We will be right back with an interview with Coach Shane Clampett. We'll interview our varsity basketball coach, Charles Bennett. We'll be right back.
I'm here with Charles Bennett, the head basketball coach here at Speedway High School, and the guy that gave me my start a long time ago. So this is kind of a neat night. I wish we would have played a little better. But first, I want to say what a special thing you did tonight by honoring the military and our first responders. I thought that was just unbelievable, bringing them out. Really cool thing that you did before the game. You've done a lot of neat things, with the community and with supporting our local people. But I thought tonight was really special. So you have anything to say about that?
I would agree. We'll starting in with the good stuff and throw the kind of bad stuff in the middle. But yeah, I thought the program was great. I really loved highlighting our band and choir. I love the medley that they do. But then I wish I could take credit for bringing them on the court, but that was Mr. Avery's idea. He said, let's bring them out, and then we said, we'll take pictures, and yeah, that worked out really well. So, those guys don't get enough credit. I mean, they get enough credit, but we don't take time to thank them enough. So just one of those things that worked out really well, and we'll continue to try to keep the community involved. I'll talk more as the season goes on, but on February 19th, we place the scene at home. We're going to do a night of champions. It's actually going to be a day of champions because it'll be the 20-year anniversary of our state championship team. But
Yep.
we're going to bring back every sectional team and every sectional coach that was involved and recognize our 12 sectional champions. And we got a commitment from Mr. Crumley right now and Phil Brumley, who are the only two remaining living guys from our very first sectional in 1948. So yeah, it's good to have the community involved and to do those things. So,
yeah, that was a really neat thing. Miss Mole did a great job, and the band and the choir.
Tremendous.
That was neat. That was really neat, and you do a great job with the Veterans Day program, and tonight was really special. So thank you for doing that. I know I appreciate that, and I know the rest of the community does. Moving on to the game, we were talking a little bit earlier. They shot the ball really well, and we didn't. It looked like there was a lid on the basket. I thought our kids kept playing hard and battling. I kind of kept saying, we're going to get there. What were your thoughts on the game?
I thought our first half, I totally agree, because, they do have a nice basketball team. We knew some of their guys could shoot. But I thought early on we wanted to pressure the ball a little bit more. There were a couple instances right off the bat where we didn't pick up, but then we did miss some shots, and that becomes difficult to keep battling when they're making shots. We're missing shots. Again, free throws plagued us.
Yep.
We had some situations where we had some, kids that could have had an and one, or we were 3 of 10 in the first half in the free throw line. And again, if we just make 70%, let's say, or 80%, get to 8 to 10, that's 5 more points. The halftime deficit is 10 at that point. We talked to our kids, though. We gave up 35 points. Second half, it was 27. Our goal's 58, so if we could have held 27 in the first half, then it would have been 27-23, because I think we had 23 at halftime. But yeah, and you want to. It's kind of one of those things where, like, if a pitcher's not throwing strikes, you walk out there. Do you say, "Hey, throw strikes" or whatever?
I know.
But then, you got Eli Givens, who's busting his tail to get down the floor, and he missed a couple layups. We got some other guys, and so we did also lose sight a little bit of what we wanted to do. We knew 13 was emotional, and at one point the official had to stop, and Cale Bennett had, jawed with him a little bit, and that's not what we wanted to do. We said ignore that and play on, and then Cale got a bad foul, and then he got a second and had to come out. So, yes, but they did shoot the ball extremely well. I looked unofficially. I think in the second half they were 9 of 13 from the 2-point range, and
made tough shots. Max Bauer made some tough shots early over Reese, and kind of got him going. And we were talking about the same thing because me working for you for so many years,
right.
I knew that the 19-point first quarter. But you guys digged in after that, and I thought defensively you were much better after that, even with them making some shots. And I knew how much that was bothering you that first quarter.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I thought the kids stuck with it. For the most part, and So, what are some things that, obviously, we talked about free throws, and I completely understand. It's probably one of the hardest things to coach, to put kids in those pressure situations. And I know you guys are working on in practice. What's some other things you guys we're going to work on as you're moving into the second half of the season?
I think it's just a mentality at this point. I really thought we'd be a little bit better. But, when you lose tough games, it tends to take a toll on you. To our kids' credit, the practice was good this week, but we're going to have to, we play Park Tudor in the county tournament next week. That's a one-class tournament. If we win that game, we play the winner of Lawrence North and Ben Davis. So we've got tomorrow, come in, Monday to practice, and then do that, and then, move on from there. So, we talked to the kids. At least it's not March. This wasn't the sectional. Believe it or not, we only have 27 practices and 12 games left. So, I think it's just going to be a mentality, and one of these days we're going to kick down the door, and I think we'll get on a little roll. I'm hoping it's against Park Tudor next week, but they're going to be tough. But yeah.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I know the kids as well, and I know they're tough kids, and it is emotional losing three close ball games and then coming out and having them throw a bunch of shots in but I thought overall it looked like they stayed together. I was watching the bench and watching the kids coming in and out, and they seemed to still be picking each other up. After missed free throws, I saw kids patting each other and trying to encourage each other. So that's all good signs for that mentality as you're moving forward. So you say you got Park Tudor next week. You don't have your lead scout on Park Tudor anymore.
That's lost him. Yeah, he's gone.
But what's going to be your game plan for them next week? Have you seen them play? The Marion County tournament's a great tournament. People call it the best tournament in the state, and right. I know you're always excited about it.
They have a very good player, last name Coleman, 6'7", left-handed. He's a junior. He's going to be a tough matchup, but again, we're going to put a little 5'8" Reese Walker on him, let him bother him a little bit. They're got extremely athletic guards, but we feel like if we go up there and compete that, we might be able to sneak one out. So it's going to be a battle, though, and I've said it all along. I thought tonight would be closer, but just getting a chance to compete in the Marion County tournament next week will be special.
Yeah, I'll be there Tuesday, and I love going to Park Tudor in that little
new gym. It's a new one.
It's a new.
They tore everything down. It's a new gym.
That's even more exciting.
I know.
I'll definitely be there.
So
okay, well, I really appreciate you coming up here and taking some time to talk to us. Thank you for everything you've done for me personally, and I know that has nothing to do with this, but I can't say that enough. 19 years ago, this guy gave me a job. And trusted me and has been there for me. So it's kind of neat to sit up here with you. It is.
It's not going to stop.
I was going to say we're going to keep doing it, aren't we?
Keep battling.
Okay. Well, thanks again. Good luck in the Marion County tournament and the rest of the year. We'll all be supporting you and rooting for you guys. Thanks again. Plugs lose a tough one to Greenwood Christian tonight. We're going to sign off here from Pollard Gymnasium. I want to make sure I say thank you to Brian Pierce, Bill T., and Bill Stinnett for everything that they've done to help this go. And Mr. Smith for asking me to be up here. It's been a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to doing it again. So thanks again. Have a safe night, and we'll see you guys soon.